couple more. Come on.
Now, this is exactly the reason why I don't like these Hollywood coaches. This is actually an atrocity of an exercise. And Brie Larson says, how many pieces of workout equipment does it take to become a superhero? All of them. Well, that goes exactly against what world-class experts teach. Master the fundamentals first, practice the basics, and you'll be safe. This exercise does not serve you any value whatsoever. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe Stark here. Like the video and consider subscribing if you're into kettlebells. Now, Bruce Lee shared a beautiful story. He said, I don't fear the man or the woman who practices 10,000 kicks once. I fear the person who practices one kick 10,000 times. Guys, the power is in the basics. This combination of a belt squat with an incorrectly executed goblet squat or front squat is, like I mentioned, an atrocity of an exercise, no value, and on the contrary, it may lead to problems with your lower back. So first, let's talk about the problem. She creates an unnecessary moment arm. This means she has to do extra effort, and her lower back has to compensate for that extra effort. The second problem that I have is with the belt squat. Now, I've had a belt squat in the gym and I've sold it because I don't like the way how the belt squat always pulled me and our clients off balance. Now, there may be mechanically engineered belt squats who are way better at this and they don't pull you off balance, so they avoid this problem. But in this case, it happens as well. The third problem is she performs the goblet squat incorrectly. And because she performs the goblet squat incorrectly, this exacerbates the problem of the belt squat that is already pulling you off balance. So let me demonstrate to you what a goblet squat or a front squat is actually supposed to look like. So as you can see, my upper body's almost vertical, my hips are close to my shins, so I can make sure that the kettlebell stays inside the center of mass. On a side note, if you're looking for a very detailed goblet squat tutorial, then check out the video right here. Now let me show you what a back squat looks like, or a low bar squat. You usually do it with a barbell. We now do it with a kettlebell. As you can see, my back angle is more horizontal and I push my hips back. Complete difference to the goblet squat or a front squat. So what Brie Larson, or in that regard, her coach does is they apply the biomechanics of a back squat with a front squat. And if you have a back squat, like I demonstrated earlier, the weight is inside my center of mass. But if I have a front squat and I engage in the biomechanics of a back squat, this is what happens. An additional moment arm right here. You can draw a line back to the middle of my foot. And what happens is my lower back has to compensate for that unnecessary moment arm or that extra effort. Unfortunately, the problem doesn't stop right here, and let's imagine that this great custom belt that I just created is a belt squat. And as you can see, the weight is outside the center of my foot, and now the bell as well. So if I go down and go back up, what happens? I have two additional forces pulling me off balance because they are not in the middle of my foot. And this video demonstrates it as well. Now this may be a deadlift, but it's the same principle. If you have the weight that's outside your center of mass, this unnecessary moment arm, this extra effort is created, and therefore different muscle groups have to compensate for that moment arm. And while we want to understand that we do want to work with practical and proper loading, this is not the way to go, because it may exacerbate problems that are already existing with many people who are already suffering from back pain, or you might create a problem in the future because you're actually accumulating these little traumas in your lower back that may lead to problems down the line. So the solution would be do either a goblet squat or a back squat with a kettlebell or a barbell, which requires an advanced technique. And then if you're a bodybuilder and you still want to pound your legs, you can still incorporate a belt squat. But don't mix them together. They don't bring any additional value. In fact, they do quite the contrary. Now, in summary, I'm quite amazed by the ongoing display of Hollywood coaches being blissfully unaware of biomechanical realities and loading mechanisms of basic exercises. And that's the fire that spurs the layperson to imitate these kinds of exercises and believe that they actually serve you some additional value. And yup, that's exactly the reason why world-class experts don't hold Hollywood coaches and celebrity trainers in high regards. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it, consider subscribing if you want to see more kettlebell content. And if you're looking for a kettlebell course that serves you all the needs when it comes to technique, training, understanding biomechanics, everything all at once, then consider signing up for our early birds list for the hybrid style masterclass. It's our upcoming course. This is My Simple and Sinister. You got to check it out. Sign up. Link is in the description.